Beautification Commission. We'll start with call to order.
Lucas Richardson.
Here.
Jermaine Sullivan.
Here.
Kathleen Grabowski.
Here.
Jess Stallings.
Here.
Mary Kay Wilkosh.
Here.
Public comments on agenda-related items. Approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor, voice votes.
Aye.
Aye.
Approval of meeting minutes from September 11th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the meetings from September 11th.
Voice vote, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unfinished business, mural process. So I did reach out to a couple communities, but I didn't really get a whole lot of feedback on what other communities are doing. Not really. There really isn't a whole lot of like documents set up for small communities. So the stuff that I sent you and Jess, Mary, was stuff that I just started to Google and try to look up.
Well, couldn't we use the stuff that we already have? It's already in place.
Yeah, no, I think,
Instead of inventing the wheel.
yeah, no, I think, so in the last meeting, we talked about reaching out to like communities our size,
Gotcha.
rather than just going full blown Grand Rapids, you know, big picture, because we've talked about in the last few meetings about developing maybe like a policy more so than like an ordinance. And so those were just ideas. And so I found some other documents that might have some good information. But you're right, yeah, maybe we are gonna be
I think we should.
copying a lot of the stuff,
Yeah,
I
think we
think.
should just do something that's already there, you know, and just kind of condense it to what we need.
Mhm.
It's all been approved by, you know, attorneys and everything else. It just make life simpler instead of us wasting more time.
I agree. So I think where we're at with that is we just need to put something on our paper and start talking about it, other than, like you said,
So do you
pushing
want
it
me to
down.
start that process?
Yeah, so
Okay.
you and Jess,
Okay.
if you guys could work on that,
Mhm.
and we can bring that up.
And did you
in-
receive that information, Jess?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, okay. I think we can condense it to just whatever and bring it back to the next meeting.
Great. And just to follow up on the First Street mural, I am going to set up a meeting with the artist that is in contention with the mural and with the city manager to see if we can have a resolution outside of just painting over it. So that's where we're at with that one too.
Just the three of you, you mean?
That's it?
Yeah.
Didn't Chief Glass already do that?
I've spoken with her twice.
Okay.
Is she wanting us to paint over it then? Like, is that the bottom line, or has she not really said one way or the other?
She didn't come outright and say that, but I suspect, like I said before, that's what she wants.
Okay.
That's me inferring based on our conversations. You guys want to sit down and have a meeting? Well, let me know if you need any input.
So I'm all for painting it over because I'm over the ridiculousness of this. But my question is, how many times has that same boat ship come through the bridge? You look at what was painted, which she's not profiting off of that painting at all.
Amen.
When you paint trees and bushes, 9 times out of 10 you paint them green. When you paint water, 9 times out of 10 you paint it blue. The bridge is blue. The ship is white. So it's not like it's the exact replica. And the artist with the watercolor had to have gotten that picture from somewhere too. So I mean, how many different ways can you paint the same bridge or the same ship going through the same bridge? You know, how many
The
times?
same rust on it and the same name.
Yes, it's not.
Stupid.
And do we even know if her stuff is like copyrighted, watermarked? I mean, has anybody asked? I mean, it's completely.
Right.
I
The point of me wanting to set up a meeting with the city manager is we don't really have a direction right now. I know people have said that we want to paint over this mural, you know, or that we should, but nobody's said the NRBC has to go and paint over this mural. So I don't think any of us want to do that.
What is the legality of it? I mean, have
We've talked to the city attorney, and his recommendation is how it got done was there could be some contention on how it was painted, but in his, well, and that's why I want to meet with her rather than assuming and saying NRBC is just gonna go over there and paint it. Just
We get such good compliments from it. She
Right.
should be excited that people love, if that's even her picture. I have no idea. I mean, I have no idea.
I think we should just move on with more people painting more pictures.
And that's the other part of it too. In the last council meeting, right? I think it was talked about to reach out to the high school, and I was gonna do that and see if there's any students that would wanna.
You
know,
had two
paint it.
people, didn't you?
They didn't respond. I called both of them.
Okay.
They never responded.
Isn't there the arts council?
At the school, or
I think that's a Rams done.
oh, maybe at the Rams. Okay, that's good. Good idea too. But so like these are all the options. We want to keep going, right? We don't want to just step backwards. So
Right,
that's why
yeah, that's what
we
I
don't
wanna
have any
do.
direction right now. It's all just been, this should be done so that way we avoid anything. But I've never talked to this artist. None of us have. Just Chief and some other rumors that are going around town. So we just don't want to. I would like to be told that we need to do this
Right.
work.
right?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think that we need to be going out there and just doing it just to,
Right. Well, a meeting with her, you can lay down, what exactly are you looking for? What would you like? We can post it with props to her and to our artist, or
yeah,
but I think sitting down with her face to face is a good idea if she's willing to do that.
and I don't think that's what she wants either, though. I don't think she wants to be associated with it, and I think that's the problem, which I don't understand, but that's why I want to set up a meeting with her, with the city manager, to find out a resolution, so we can move forward.
And maybe putting on social media again, looking for local artists or whatever might be beneficial. I don't know how often.
I don't know if we have we done that? Have we advertised on social
Well,
media?
I think just posting that and then people commented underneath maybe that they were interested.
Okay.
Positive, but,
Well, do you think though, Jess, we should wait until we get our stuff put together? And
Oh,
we
yeah, for
resolve
sure.
this mural issue first before we?
I don't think we need to resolve that, but I think we need to have our stuff in
Yeah,
order,
I think so.
our guidelines, and then, what they're going to bring to us and that sort of thing.
And we'd be looking at like spring anyway, right?
Mhm.
This wouldn't be something we'd want to do before winter.
Correct.
Okay. All right, well, I think that's all good conversation, and if we can get some of our documents put together before the next couple meetings, then we can have a good plan to advertise it. That's a good idea.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Volunteer
Excuse me.
recruitment. If you had any enthusiasts
Knocking on my door.
yeah, knocking on your door.
No, you picked up that one, from Fifth Street, but I didn't call her for this latest project. Do we call the people each and every time?
We send the email out.
Oh, okay,
And she did fill out a waiver and gave it
Okay.
to Chief.
okay, but no, not since then. I have not talked to anybody.
Well, we gained a couple new ones this last time.
Did? Yep.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
That made it so much less work.
Right.
I think
Grubba
one-
got a big blister right there. Oh, that's not part of the meeting though.
I'll have to talk to the city attorney about that.
You signed a waiver.
Right?
Nah,
I think it would be great also to keep putting it in the paper like you did. That was really.
That should
I
be a
think,
standard
powerful. Yeah.
process, I believe.
Did we post the before and after pictures?
Today,
Wait,
I sent it to her on Friday. I think she was out though.
So, this is kind of talking about this community service day, but I had a good idea when we were out there that, and maybe this isn't so much of a rub it in your face approach. I don't want it to look like that, but I thought it might be a good idea to maybe send a letter to like the area that we worked in and say, hey, you probably noticed that this work got done, the NRBC did that. If you're interested in future projects, contact us or whatever. I thought that might be a good idea, because that's like a targeted, like those people that live there obviously know that happened.
Right.
You know?
I rode by again last night and it looked so nice.
So if that sounds like a good idea, I can work with Mary on sending out maybe 10, 20 letters or something.
Who would you send them to?
The addresses on that block. Just targeted. Just because that whole area right there already looks like it probably could use about 5 more of our projects. Okay. Anything else on volunteers? I know we gotta figure out a way this winter to get volunteers on the list. We've pretty much had the same amount for this whole summer, I think.
Meet and greet thing, come and meet the NRBC and.
Come and meet.
I'm
tell 'em
sorry.
what our plans are for the next year.
Okay.
I did mention, what we had talked about as far as like a business sponsoring one per month.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to a couple business owners and they seemed like they would be on board for that. And then, like, if we could do something where we wore their shirts or that sort of thing, then they would be partially responsible for coming up with volunteers for that particular project as well, which might alleviate a little bit, but also bring more people in and show them what we're doing and see if they're interested in that sort of thing. So,
That's a good idea.
but it would also be advertisement for them too, if they're
Which is
employees are
fine,
coming
yeah.
to help out. So just because I put a feeler out there just to see, because I see so many business owners in town and stuff. So that might be something for next season.
Mhm. Yeah, and there would be little to no monetary,
Right.
commitment.
And-
Yeah, nothing. I mean, we can
Right.
still, the head of the project for that month, I mean, we would work with them. We can still bring bottles of water.
NRBC worked with Business X,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And would we find the locations or would they find the locations?
either or.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and I've been keeping my ears open too. I let people know, like, hey, I'm part of this. If you know somewhere in town that needs the extra
Right.
attention, please let us know, because
Good.
that's what we're here for. We're trying to put the word out. We're trying to get more people involved and just make things look nicer.
Mhm.
Everything I'm hearing is Maxwell Town, like that side of town needs the most work, so.
That's a good idea.
I can't believe that sidewalk leading to the road. I had no idea it was there.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Lucas got crazy and was gonna go to family fair and
Getting crazy.
down to Painted Lady.
That would be a little too far, but all needs it, right? Okay, well, that's a good idea. I think we should think about that for next year's projects for sure.
Maybe what we could do, Jess, is get people on board already and pick them up. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
we're not just coming next year and then waiting again and, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do it early enough to where we're ready on our schedule.
Well, and they're gonna prefer that as well, because with the summer months,
Sure,
they're
they're
gonna be
busy.
so busy, so.
Okay.
Yeah. And we want to start this in what month? April?
As soon as the snow goes away.
I would say April.
And I know that, it had been brought up, I think Chief brought it up about the service day, community service day in June, us being involved in that.
Oh, the big day of service, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll reach out to Stacy about that, just to make sure we're involved.
Sure.
So now, are we working with the Parks Commission, like if we have a project like that you know, we had asked to work together.
Yeah, council voted not to.
Oh,
I
oh,
didn't think there was no motion, right?
No.
Yeah, there was no
Oh,
motion
okay.
on changing our bylaws, so our bylaws are still the same.
okay, good.
Okay, so Jess, you'll reach out to a couple businesses, see if they'll
Yeah.
maybe be interested to put a name on a date for now or something?
Sure, yep.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
I was kind of talking about 2 and 3 here, but anything on social media posting that we gotta talk about? None?
Still posting.
All right. Upcoming Community Service Day. Last meeting, we talked about October 19th. Is that still something we're interested in?
Not for my project. So I talked to Sarah at the Senior Center, and we decided that, instead of doing it in October, the end of October, like the stuff that they want done, to move that to the first project in the spring, so we can paint and edge. I mean, what's the point of doing all that? And then it snows the next week, so she was gonna get me a list of stuff, that they want to see done outside, and then we can make that our first April project.
Okay.
Or if there's still snow, May, I mean.
Okay.
So unless anybody else approaches us, or if we see something that we really need to address, it sounds like that was the last service day for this year that we just did last week. Okay. Sounds good. I think that was still, I mean, it was successful, and we had 5, 6 days. That was pretty good. I know we will have, the city entrance signs, if you've noticed, there's foundations put in. So I know that there's been talk about having our group be involved with maintaining the landscaping and that kind of work too, so maybe that's this fall, I don't know, but, I'll bring that up in a meeting if I know more information about that.
Okay.
I don't think they're planning on planting anything until the spring though, obviously. All right, so expenses, we talked about there's mentions that we should have a new push broom, a new high power leaf blower, and, I noticed that we probably could use a couple extra shovels, so I put that up here.
And maybe even a rake.
Another rake,
I think so. Still have that one, and it seems like it's used all the time.
like a garden rake or a
Yeah.
leaf rake. Okay. So I don't have any prices on this stuff, but if we make a motion to,
I make a
Purchase
motion to
all of
approve to authorize these for
I'll second.
items.
purchases, okay. And then all in favor, voice vote, say aye.
Aye.
Cool, and I'll work with, chief to go get those purchased then.
Okay.
All right, any blight-related projects that we can assist with? Josh?
About 50, what do you mean specifically?
I've kept this agenda item on here just in case there's anything that pops up that we can help remediate some blight.
There's a couple things I'll mention. Number one, our building official starts, I think, today, a new building official, I think it's today. And we'll be coordinating with them as far as what they will be doing versus what the police department used to do. Number two I'll mention is there's a potential opportunity out there for a grant that the city's working with Tracy Davis on that might potentially have available funds for some of the houses we've tried to assist and failed. So there might be a path moving forward to grant funds for remediation of exterior things like siding and roofing and things like that, so those two things.
So nothing, everything else in the blight world is just probably nothing that we can volunteer to help with.
Just financial stuff, I think we look to see how this grant goes. There's just the two houses that have been remaining since, and there's plenty of houses that need to be demolished, but I leave that to our building official and city attorney, but, so there's nothing that the city police department has to recommend for those things. I think we see how the grant goes, and I would recommend the NRBC try to assist somehow in that process and that grant, whatever that might be, I don't know, but, that's my recommendation, because that might be a funding source to help some of these houses that we couldn't otherwise find funding for.
Okay. Keep our ears out for that. So ordinance review, so obviously we're not gonna go through all these in the packet here, but this was the list of ordinances for the city that chief sent us, and then also a couple other ones like sidewalks and whatnot that would be related to our work. Excuse me. So the discussion that I intended to have in this meeting was, we've always talked about, you know, seeing where we can recommend things. So whether or not we look at one right now, or we just talk about how we're gonna work through some of this, but I think over the winter, we should have a plan to, you know, comb through one or two each meeting or a work session or something like that, and then we can, you know, bring recommendations to council if there's anything that should be, that we would recommend to change.
Why don't we go through the first three, like on our own, and like look at them and see if there's any issues if anybody has, and then,
Discuss
do
it.
we have another meeting in October?
Right now, this is the last meeting that's scheduled.
Okay, so we can go over these three and bring it up in November, if anybody has anything that, you know,
I
needs.
think we might have another meeting in October.
On the 16th.
Oh, there is?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we were doing 2 through the end of October, and then we needed to decide the rest of the year.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Okay.
October 16th is the next
We
one.
can look at these three, and then October 16th, if anybody has anything on these. And then if not, go to the next ones. Do it like that, get them.
So which ones are we looking at?
Do
then?
batches of 3.
Uh,
Motor vehicles? Is that the one?
yes,
Nuisance? and
yes, and safety.
Safety, okay, all right.
This one would be-
And they're all in here? That's cool.
They should all be in there.
That's nice.
50s now.
Very.
And I tried to find them, I can't find them.
They should be in order, in the order that they're on here,
Okay, good.
unless I messed up.
I think we're missing the anti-blight one, 650.
Oh, okay.
When a sidewalk needs to be ground down, is that a city thing or is that the owner of the property?
I believe our ordinance would say that it's the owner's responsibility to maintain those. That's been a point of ongoing conversation, but the ordinance, if you look at the ordinance, I think specifically speaks to that.
So how does the city get out there and start grinding them then? Like, what's the difference between whatever they're doing it for and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, is there a certain
They try
age
to
that it has to
do
be?
so many a year, I believe. They try to go around and do so many a year, but then if you have something that needs to be repaired,
Okay.
like they will, don't quote me because I might be wrong, they match it, I think.
Okay.
Not 100% positive on that, so.
But that's addressed in the ordinance, and you could look at that, maybe, you know, it might be a situation of a recommendation that our current ordinance meets our current practice, I don't know, but it's spelled out there. I know that's been a contentious issue, that the homeowner has to maintain the sidewalk.
Well, it's a bummer because like our neighbors across the street, when their mom was still alive, they had called for her a few times because she has a couple spots. And the city manager had said at that time, like, well, it's your responsibility to do that. And it's like, well, they were just down the street doing those ones. She's 94. So where's the fight for that? figured I would ask.
Great discussion to have when we review that ordinance, for sure.
So do we want to assign ordinances and then have homework assignments?
Yep, so I think we're missing 650, but we'll just skip that one for now. We'll do, so chapter 415, chapter 654, and chapter 674. So 1, 3, and 4 on the agenda there. So we'll review those ordinances and then come with comments for discussion on the October 16th, Mary? That's right. Meeting. I think that's a good way. That's the only way where we're gonna, get through this. I would like to get through the whole thing and provide recommendations if there are some for this one, and that'd be awesome.
Were we ever able to get any prices back on like the dumpsters, spring cleanup versus 2 pickups a month versus 1 pickup a month?
Yeah, that was, I think I said it in the last time you asked it, but that it really hasn't gone anywhere with that. I don't know, I can bring it up
Okay.
again. I know that the city manager asked Republic for pricing, and then, we might have got something back, but you have to, extrapolate it over the community, so I don't really know what it would affect the bills and
Okay.
whatnot, but I'll reach out on that one again too.
Are you looking for a number for the DPW too, probably, right? What it will cost them to do the spring cleanup as well? We're looking to,
All the numbers, just to see what's gonna be best, like,
Yeah.
on the corner, cause I live on the corner of 6th and Lynn Court, and the corner of 31 and 6, those people must have moved out of that duplex there. So there's been all sorts of junk just lined up right there for the past at least week. And I mean, it happens often, and people can't really wait to put stuff out that they don't have, unless they want to haul it,
Right.
So just trying to come up with something else for community.
I'll follow up on that.
Okay.
I saw that, we saw that.
So the last thing on the agenda here is just scheduling the rest of our meetings. Just so we don't have to do this again, I figured maybe we just dedicate the first Monday of the month, and then if it's on a holiday week, then it would be the second Monday of the month. And it seems like 9 a.m.'s been working, so up for discussion. That doesn't have to be that way. It's just
So November would be November 6th, December 4th. January, we would have to move that to the 2nd, so it would be January 8th. February 5th.
In the winter, is it still 2 meetings or what?
no. From right now, we're discussing just putting there. After October 16th, there's nothing scheduled, so we need to start scheduling so we can reserve the room
Once a month?
once
Yes.
a month. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Can we have that put down on a list so that we can stick it up?
Yeah. So February 5th and then March 4th would be the,
Okay.
You guys have to bring cake on February 5th, because that's my birthday, thank you.
Oh,
9 a.m. cake, coffee cake.
Hey, man, it's never too early for cake.
So if that's okay with everybody, take a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, voice vote.
Aye.
All right. Public comment.
yes.
Oh my goodness, what happened?
We have James Grabowski, 1235 Cornell. We have a ordinance committee meeting this month. If you have any ideas what you want to change on some of these ordinances, would be helpful, because we're going to be discussing some of these.
Oh,
So it would be good, what is it, the
I
19th?
think it's the 21st.
21st, so we'll be having that. Also, that one's on 6th and Cypress, I didn't look to see, we didn't go right past it, but we did on the highway. And if it's building material, we don't pick that up, that's up to them people to get a dumpster and move that. So that's in the ordinance. And, I mean, the couches and all that is up to, I think, McCullough to send a letter to them to have that removed. You know, because it's only one article for the first of the month right now.
Is, like carpet and underlayment, is that building material?
Building material.
That is, okay,
Yeah, but that'd be one article, you know, that they can put in the dump.
yeah.
And of course, we've been told from the dump that, you know, whatever you can fit in your tote, you know,
Right.
they'll haul it away, so jump on it or whatever you have to do to pack it in.
So basically, if we see a lot of junk
Yeah.
like that, we should probably just report it.
So, good, thank you.
There's an ongoing issue with junk in the right of way, and, you know, I talked to a number of people. After doing this for years, I don't think public notification is the issue. Kelly McCall every month puts out a big item pickup to remind, you know, and I've had another council member recommend something and developing a calendar. I truly don't believe that the reminder is the issue. The issue is that they put it out early, put it out later, put it out whenever they want. And, you know, it might be good for this group to come up with some type of resolution in the form of modifying a city ordinance. I mean, if you have high grass, something to think about. If you have tall weeds, the city comes and chops your weeds down, they put on your tax assessment. And that's a pretty lean way to do enforcement, because you don't have to go out there and do this and that. So anyways, just something to consider that over the years we've said, I don't know that it's a public notification issue. I think people are gonna either put their stuff out early or late or not at all. We've never made a higher effort to notify the public. We put stuff in the tax bill, Facebook, than we have in the past, and we're still seeing issues. So, you know, something to think about.
Well, on Facebook, they had that place on Sixth and Cypress, and they talked about remodeling because they're renting it out. And so they had, you know, young kids who needed for new jobs or something, they were renting it out. So I think it's their responsibility to clean that up.
Yeah, the question is, if they don't clean it up, are we gonna go over there and give them a ticket and then they don't pay it, or is the city gonna have a position where we'll just clean it up and charge you for it? I think I think that's something we can consider our processes, and as we go into the winter months, we're probably gonna need to have the city attorney back in here and to educate us as far as this group, as far as what enforcement looks like and how do we recoup costs for sustainability and how do fines work. I would encourage him to come here to speak to this group, to educate you as you start mulling through some of these ordinances and processes.
Well, we're supposed to be having that new attorney starting, so I think that'll be a good thing for him to jump into.
Okay, go to the order.
I don't have anything.
Just that really looks nice. What y'all did on Thursday. I keep riding by. It looks really nice.
It's good.
Glad to be a part of it.
If anybody's in contact with the church there, I know they're getting a new operations person, but I'm sure they notice it, but it'd be good to just let them know that we did that. Mary, you got anything? Jess? Chief, Mary? All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Aye.
Adjourned. Aye.
So we